This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Hey, great friends. What's going on? It is Tuesday afternoon. Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man coming to you from the 7 Mile Casino Studios. Their website is 7milecasino.com. To everybody who's tuning in all throughout Southern California on the radio airwaves, what's going on out there today? It's feeling like summertime. And to everybody that's watching on YouTube, make sure you get involved in our YouTube chat, subscribe, share, comment, do what you got to do. Big crowd yesterday on YouTube. Everybody wanted to get in on this whole Padre disaster. To everybody that's watching on Channel 4 San Diego and the Cox YurView Network all around the state of California, we're glad you guys are here. And to all of our audio podcast listeners, I had a listener hit me up earlier today, Michael Ambacher, longtime great friend, said, yo, you guys not on Apple anymore? Like, what's going on? I sent to Alex, I go, yo, did something happen? Are we not on Apple Podcasts? Alex sent it right back to me. He goes, no, we are. So Michael's like, okay, must be me. That's usually how I feel, especially when it comes to anything technology-wise. I'm like, look, it's me. It's on my end. I'm sure of it. So everybody wanted to pounce yesterday on this Padre story. And I said to both of you guys this yesterday. The paid cheerleaders in the San Diego media community were all jumping off the bandwagon. And I wasn't even sure. I was like, maybe I've exaggerated a little too much. So fellas, yesterday afternoon, got in my car, and I'll tell you, I turned on the Padres radio station. And Alex, you said that the Xander Bogaerts interview that we watched yesterday, people described it as if it looked like his dog had died. Dude, I turned on the Padres radio station yesterday afternoon, and you would have thought everybody's dog had died. I mean, these dudes came on the air like as if it was this super somber moment, you know? I'm like, hey, fellas, I'm pretty pessimistic about the rest of this season, frankly, the way things have gone. But I do acknowledge that we're really only at the midway point. And I do agree with Bob Melvin. One big run gets you right back into this thing. Just haven't done it yet. Don't know if they will. But I'm telling you, man, there is like this sentiment around town, like this season's toast. And I'm generally more optimistic than that. But, man, telling you, dude, the cheerleaders have jumped off the bandwagon. What do you think about that?
Since when are you more optimistic than that?
What?
You declared this season almost dead about 3 weeks ago. So
right, but
that was a we'll let you finish type of situation.
Yeah,
right, but I'm emotional. You know what I mean? Like I'm highs and lows. Remember last year, I decided to not be emotional, but when I am emotional, it's highs and lows. Hey, they're going to win the World Series. Hey, the season's over.
Okay.
I'm talking about the paid cheerleaders that are told every day, it doesn't matter how many games they are under 500. You sell to the world that they're still going to win the World Series. Those types of guys are the guys I'm talking about that are like, they're bad. They're really bad.
What is okay? Because it's back-to-back days, so I'll just ask the question. What is the point of bringing that up? Like, who cares?
My point of bringing it up is that there is a sentiment on the street, that and a tone of people who they've gone from disappointment, to this is an epic fail.
Well, I want to tell the people that listen to that and also listen to this. This is where you keep it real.
Keep it real. Do it.
This is where it gets kept real.
Keep it. It's kept in the past tense. It's keeping it in the future tense.
We tell you like it is.
Tell it.
All right.
Go ahead.
I think people nowadays, not all, I think a lot of people nowadays are smart enough to realize what they're watching or what they're listening to and who's the source. And, if you want sunshine and rainbows, you're probably going to tune in somewhere. And if you want to keep it real, Browner, this is where you tune in.
You hear that, Brown? Keeping it real.
Yeah.
Look, man, the only reason why I don't live in despair land like a bunch of other people is because, one, I don't have the scars that most of you speak of when you walk around here. Two, if the problem was unfixable, then I would be like, yo, we're screwed. But it's not. It's very fixable. It's a very fixable situation. And the reason why you got in this hole is because you couldn't hit in a particular time. But here's the thing: you'll get more opportunities to get out of that. Like sometimes all you need is another chance. And I think I for once agree with Bob Melvin. It won't take a lot. It won't take a lot, but we got to do it. They got to do it. So if you started your show yesterday, whomever you are, wherever you make a show, if you started your show like, yo, man, oof, oh, man, this thing is over. Oh, you know, what? Shut up. Shut up. You probably go about life like that. If you're an upbeat person in life.
He just told you shut up.
I don't feel like I'm on the receiving end of that.
You see these things.
Isn't that how you started the show yesterday?
Yeah, but I don't feel like I'm on the receiving end of it. So if I felt like I was on the receiving end of it, I might be like, "Hey, what you talking about, sucker?" But you see, I don't feel like that. I'm like, "You tell him, Browner. You tell him, Brown."
So that's the thing, man. Don't put your life on the Padres. Whoever you are, wherever you at. Don't put your life on them.
I think what I'm trying to say to you is that I know what that situation is like when you're supposed to be a paid cheerleader. And I know what it's like when you start to see reality. And I also know what it's like when you think about how it impacts you personally. Okay. Because let me tell you something, man. When you're in that business and you're playing that radio ratings game and you're like, hey, the better they are, the more excitement there is, the more ratings we're going to get, the bigger bonuses we might get. And then if they fall apart and they go off a cliff, and people just stop listening or give up on it, or the numbers just, tank, people think about, how does that impact me personally? And so, here's the one thing I'll say this about the sports radio game. Okay. The sports radio game for a second. You know what you don't want the Padres to be? You kind of don't want them to be 500. 500 is blah. It's vanilla. There's no storyline. You want them to be great. You want them to be, have this, 15 games over 500, and you want them to be running away with the division, and you want the city to be on fire with electricity, or you want the opposite, which is the story. Because I read this morning in The Athletic, they had their weekly MLB power rankings. Okay. So and the headline is what got me in the email. The Tampa Bay Rays reign as top team is no longer, whatever it is. And let's say Tampa Bay was like their number one team throughout the first however many months of the season. Well, Atlanta has taken over number one. I'm like, okay, well, where do they have the Padres? And man, I had to flip. And I think I sent you guys the article. I think the Padres were 20th in baseball, like in the power rankings. So that's really, that's way down at the bottom, right? Bottom third. And they've gone from, this is again, The Athletic, preseason rankings, the Padres were like 85% to make the postseason. And right now their odds to make the postseason are like 40%,
Hey, it's pretty good.
It kind of is pretty good. 40%. Yeah. 40% doesn't sound over. 2% sounds like, hey, there ain't no chance.
2% goes, where's my catcher plan?
I just think the biggest difference between this year and years past is that this year the Padres came in with the 5th best chances to win the World Series of anybody in all of Major League Baseball. That's the expectation. That was the hope. That was that was what we were all kind of striving for. Obviously, it didn't happen. But if you look at the decade under AJ Preller, we're right where we normally are. 8 out of 10 years, we're right where we normally are. And last year it wasn't the case, and 2020 wasn't the case, but 2020, we've all erased that from our memory, right? We don't even count that because like Trent Grisham hit like 300 or something like that. So Will Myers was definitely like a stud that year. So, this is what this team has been. They have, year in and year out, they have lived and underachieved under AJ Preller.
But can you just change one word in that? Instead of saying this team, can you say this organization? Because this team this year was supposed to be vastly different, wasn't it?
Yeah. And I think that's why everybody's so upset, even though they're 4 games below 500, right? They're not the Cardinals. The Cardinals are having a disaster of a season.
For them,
right?
It's over.
And they were right up there with everybody as far as winning the NL Central, being one of the best teams in baseball. But because it's new here, because the expectations are new here, and the hype was new here, and the actual thought like this could be the year that we finally take down the Dodgers, everybody feels that way, even though you're 4 games below 500. Today, in the UT, they did the math. Last year, the Phillies got into the wild card with 87 wins, right? They were the 6th seed in baseball in the National League. They got 87 wins. So for the Padres to get 87 wins, assuming that's what you'll need this year, they just got to go 50-34. And obviously, when you sit here right now and you're like, that's never going to happen. You know, they're 4 games below 500 now. Why would I think all of a sudden they're going to be 16 games above 500 for the rest of the way? I don't know. I'm not telling you
By the way,
that's going to happen.
No, but it could. It
could.
Not only could it, but hold on. I just want to say one thing. 50-31, was that the number you said?
50-34.
50-34. So that presumes that the 87 wins that the Phillies got in with last year would get you in this year. To me, if I were in Bob Melvin's shoes, just as an example, and I was saying to the guys, hey guys, let's deal with reality. Okay, guys, I want to show you some numbers and I want you to see what reality looks like. Okay. And let's just say there were 84 games remaining. And to your point, they got to go 50-34 to get to 87 wins. I don't think 87 is enough. So let's just say the number is 90. Hey guys, we got to go 53-31. I'll just make a 3-game adjustment.
Right. Well, last year the Padres won 89, so just say 89.
Great.
You know,
so
whatever.
let's go 1 game better. 90 wins. So in the next 84 games, we have to go 53-31. We have to be, is it 17 or 18 games better than 500? Doesn't, whatever. You guys understand. I can't do the math on the fly like that. I should be able to. And I think a normal average person of decent intelligence probably should be able. And I just 19. Can't. Thank you. See. So here's the thing. Could the Padres go 53-31 in their last 84 games? Sure, of course. Why could? Yes, they can. Will they?
And that's the thing too, is because we've seen, like, that's the thing, is that we've seen what this team can do. We just haven't seen it for a long stretch. They're the only team, besides, by the way, the Royals and Nationals, who haven't swept the series this year. You know, like they have not. And I know people are going to yell at me, oh, Mexico City, that was a 2-game series. No, they are the only 3 teams in baseball that have not swept the series. So they haven't shown that they can go on an extended winning run. So that's kind of why people are going to be pessimistic and doubt that they can do that, because they haven't.
I would argue if you look across the standings, the number that you're saying, I don't think you'll have to reach that. I don't think it'll be 87. I think it'll be around 83 or 84. Because look at the teams after the division leader. It's 41 wins. I'll read them to you. After the division, it's 40 for Philly, 37 for Chicago, 41 for Cincinnati, but Cincinnati's won 7 out of the last 10. 44 for the Giants, 43 for the Dodgers. That's not that far away. That's a week's worth of work.
I know. Well, but that's just it. Like, if you look at the National League standings right now for the wild card, Miami is in the lead with 45 wins. San Francisco 44, Dodgers 43. You mentioned Phillies at 40, Reds at 41, Cubs at 37. There's the Padres sitting at 37. You're 8 games behind the Marlins. 8 games can be made up real fast.
It's a week's worth of work. That's it.
It's.
I mean, just look at what the Reds have done. We talked about it yesterday.
Yeah.
Look what the Reds have done since Ellie De La Cruz came up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they were 5 games below 500. Now they're 5 games above 500. And that happened in a span of 16, 17 games, just like that.
And that's just it. What you need is 1 big month.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
And it really doesn't have to be a consistent month. It can be 2 weeks here, be 2 weeks there. You gotta have a couple of weeks.
Guys,
they have
4 series. They have 4 series before the All-Star break.
Mm-hmm.
If they go out there and they go 10-2,
done.
10-2,
right? That's
you're
it.
right back in.
Right.
Problem solved.
So what I'm saying to you
and
is
against the teams that are on their schedule, it's possible.
Totally possible. Totally possible.
The Mets are bad. The Pirates are bad. The Reds are hot right now, but they've cooled off a tiny bit. And the Angels kind of hit and miss. I think we will face Ohtani on July 4th, which will be exciting.
Which would be unbelievable. I mean, think about that. 4th of July in America's finest city. Shohei Ohtani, the biggest star in Major League Baseball, will pitch at Petco Park, assuming that this is the way it goes down.
Mm-hmm.
Will pitch at Petco Park. Guy, by the way, how about
There won't be a seat available in there.
How about this? How about you, Darvish? Or no, better yet, Joe Musgrove. I'm just trying to think of how
lined up at the moment.
Yeah.
It's so now, like, if you go on ESPN,
yeah,
they say Ohtani on Monday against Blake Snell.
Okay.
But there are, like, it could be Tuesday. And right now, the way it's lined up, let's just say the Padres go with their normal 5.
Mhm.
If Ohtani pitches Tuesday, it would be Musgrove Ohtani.
Dude, hometown hero Joe Musgrove against the biggest international star in all of Major League Baseball. What a game on 4th of July. What a game.
Yeah.
Not an empty seat in the house.
Even if, let's just say Ohtani pitches any of the 3 games.
Right.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah. Right.
Because I don't think he's played here yet.
July.
I don't think he's ever played here, if I am not mistaken.
Hey, I want to tell you something right now about the 4th of July being on a Tuesday. Most workplaces, at least I think, and I talked to ESPN about this up in LA. I'm like, yo, so we must be off on Monday the 3rd and Tuesday the 4th, right? Because the holiday's on Tuesday the 4th. You don't come back to work on Monday to take Tuesday off to come back to work on Wednesday, do you?
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, you do. You actually do. You work on Monday, the holiday's Tuesday, and you get back to work on Wednesday, you lazy bastard.
It's not very Mickey Mouse of them.
Well, they said that there's some sort of like floating holiday or something or other. I don't know anything about it.
Normally, corporations, even small ones like the old 1090, would give you 2 floating holidays a year.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you could, like, implement them to attach to a different one. To it, like, so if like this, if you could attach your floating holiday to a Monday or even Wednesday, like whatever you want.
What is your desire during that time, 3rd of July, 4th of July?
Oh, the 3 of us, it's already like everyone's already been given notice. We're off on Monday and Tuesday.
Okay, good. Just letting everybody know, because I think having to do the ESPN show on Monday the 3rd is lame.
Yeah.
But all right, well, you guys deserve it, and we don't have to operate like big corporate America. I'll tell you what, man. The one thing about ESPN right now, did we start talking about this yesterday, or maybe we talked about it during the uncensored portion of the podcast? This whole like Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, Max Kellerman. Yeah, we did talk about that yesterday. How they're canceling that morning show. And then, hey, one of my favorite Sports Center anchors, Neil Everett. You guys like Neil? He didn't re-sign. So I think this week in particular, if you're a sports fan and you're an ESPN viewer, I think we're going to see a lot of people whose names we know probably like end their time at ESPN. I think. At least that's kind of the rumors on the street. You know what I'm saying? So
by Friday on this show, what will be a bigger topic of conversation? Who got fired from ESPN or who got signed and traded in the NBA?
It depends on if I'm the one who got fired by ESPN.
That's what I'm saying. What that Friday show gonna be? That Friday show might be lit.
Well, what if the Friday? Let me throw in another curveball at you.
Yeah, go ahead.
What if the Padres go to Pittsburgh and get swept?
Oh,
then
dude.
What are we talking about?
That Friday show gonna be lit.
Oh my God, dude. And just if you could, really quick before we get deeper into it, just the Padres schedule. You know, we talked about how they'll play the Angels before the All-Star break. They start this series with the Pirates, then they've got Cincinnati, and then they've got the Mets. That's top of the head. I don't have that sitting right in front of me, but that sounds about right, doesn't it? Like that's about what's left before the All-Star break.
Say it. What'd you say?
It's Pirates, Reds, Mets, and Angels. Does that sound about right?
Swap the Angels and Mets, yeah.
Oh, okay. They finish with the Mets
at Pittsburgh, at Cincinnati versus the Angels versus the Mets.
Okay, got it. So those are the series that are remaining before the All-Star break. Can they right away go to Pittsburgh, put some wins together, stay out on the road, get some bonding going, blah blah blah, baseball bonding, get some wins in Cincinnati, come home, be on a roll, get the fan base, which is going to show up anyway because everybody's already spent so much money on freaking tickets, they're coming. Get the fan base to start believing again, create some electricity and some energy around that Angels series, and then put the Mets out of their misery and go into the All-Star break feeling like, you know what? We got something going now. Yeah, that can happen. Just hasn't yet. And I'm not sure it will.
Well, tonight, Yu Darvish in Pittsburgh. He hasn't been great, but 5-6 on the year, 4.84 ERA. The Padres are 2-2 this month with Darvish on the mound. But here is some silver lining, I guess. The Pirates are 1-12 in their last 13 games, so they are not playing well, and neither are the Padres. So let's see what happens.
All right. Hey, listen, coming up yesterday, Alex said he wanted a sacrifice. He wanted the Padres to sacrifice somebody. Usually it's a hitting coach. We'll get into what Manny Machado thinks about that.
And they got two, so.
Yeah, one of them can go. We'll hear what Manny Machado thinks about that coming up. I also want to talk about San Diego State today and this whole issue with the Mountain West Conference. I want to talk about the big quarterbacks that are still available to get contract extensions. I'm going to get into all that stuff as we get going today. Hey, real quick, just a reminder, we are in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. If you're going to play blackjack, poker, table games, or you want the best brunch in South County, according to San Diego Magazine, come on down to 7 Mile Casino, just 7 minutes south of downtown San Diego. We're just getting rolling. It's Tuesday, feeling good. Let's roll.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and YurView, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. You're listening to the 50,000-watt Powerhouse, bringing you the new generation of radio up and down all of California with a little bit of attitude. This is SoCal Sports Talk, the all-new and mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio.
There's far too many people suffering on the streets, and so we're about helping people find that bright and immediate and safe and healthy pathway off the streets. Our mission is to alleviate the suffering of homelessness throughout San Diego County. We raise money to fund, activate, or lead high-impact homelessness programs, and there's close to 20 different employment and job training programs that we've funded. In 2023, addressing and reducing youth homelessness is one of our primary focus areas. And so we work with Urban Street Angels on a number of strategies and programs. We work with the Youth Assistance Coalition because they're organizations that make impact. We're never going to solve it, but we can meaningfully reduce it and help a heck of a lot of people by raising money to fund and activate a multitude of programs that are tangible and can be quantified and meant to alleviate suffering now, while simultaneously pushing on government to help accelerate their efforts.
Cox Communications and the San Diego County Office of Education salute the 2023 San Diego County Teachers of the Year. Cox presents Salute to Teachers. Be inspired by their stories and celebrate their accomplishments in a 30-minute education special. Watch Cox presents Salute to Teachers only on YurView.
Since 1975, San Diegans have trusted the Murray-Lampert family for their home remodeling projects. We continue our commitment to deliver high-quality home remodeling and construction to our customers without an expensive showroom.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring value to your home, our team has the experience to handle everything. Plus, our strong relationships with the city makes adding on easier for homeowners.
Visit murraylampert.com for your consultation.
Here at our New Teeth Now Center in San Diego, we specialize in reconstruction and giving patients back their teeth in the same day. We have a center where not only you have oral surgeons trained in surgery doing your procedure, but at the same time we have trained lab technicians in-house. We have general anesthesiologists to help you with your anesthesia. And we're able to bring everything in-house to recreate patients' smiles. Our specialty really is zygomatic implants. This procedure allows us to really deliver teeth to patients who otherwise have been told they would never receive teeth in their life.
Thanks to New Teeth Now, I love my smile. I don't even feel really different. The proof is right here.
For our patients who have been apprehensive about coming back into dentistry, we want to tell you that we are the premier center to take care of you here. We want to make sure that we're well taken care of from the first minute you call us to the minute you come and meet us for a consultation.
I can smile, I can laugh. It's brought me back, and I'm so thankful for that.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and YurView, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Listen to The Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and themightier1090.com. We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew Show on the Mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
This is the Rugby Odds, where an unlikely pundit panel of a wordsmith, a WWE legend, a rugby star, and a supermodel scour the globe, seeking best bets and bad behavior. Are you not entertained?
My favorite thing about teaching would be just seeing the growth and the potential of the kids and just kind of letting them explore creative thinking, creative thought, and creative projects.
Me and my dad went to Patrick Henry High School, and we have other team members who also went to Patrick Henry, and their kids went to Patrick Henry.
Rachel was one of my students, and during my graphic design class, she actually developed a redesign of the Murray Lampert logo, which is how I learned about Murray Lampert. Early on, she showed a lot of just kind of a awareness of design.
We've been very active in this, especially the San Diego Unified School District. I was on one of the boards for a few years. We've participated in middle school in Patrick Henry. A few years ago, we donated the baseball scoreboard, which felt really good because that's where my son played baseball. When the engineering department needed support, we donated for models for the kids in architecture class to build actual framed models.
Murray Lampert donated a big marquee, digital marquee, and every morning I see that on my way into the classrooms. It's extremely important for communities and companies to invest in the students. When they do, bad behavior goes down, student achievement goes up. When companies give back to the students just, they feel a part of something bigger. They feel part of a community. They feel like somebody has invested in them.
Teachers are very important, and it's important that they get what they need in their classrooms, and we've really been part of that. We're really looking forward to being involved with the Salute to Teachers that's coming this year, and we hope to make that an annual event.
The philosophy of integrity here at Murray Lampert is always doing the right thing, even when someone isn't looking.
The San Diego Children's Discovery Museum is a children's museum that serves San Diego County. Our area of focus is children between the ages of 0 to 10, but primarily 0 to about the ages of 7. We teach children in an informal, experience-based environment, specifically foundational fluencies, social emotional learning, and purposeful play.
We started PNC Grow Up Great in 2004. It is now a $500 million bilingual early education program, all focused on reaching young children from birth to age 5, with a particular emphasis on reaching low and moderate income children to help prepare them for school and life.
And we've been looking for partners, and that's how we got to the San Diego Children's Museum. They specifically have a new mobile unit where they bring STEM-related educational services to kids that can't make it to the museum.
We both believe in bringing innovative platforms of learning to children all over the county.
I think I'm going to build a castle.
Here at our New Teeth Now Center in San Diego, we specialize in reconstruction and giving patients back their teeth in the same day. We have a center where not only you have oral surgeons trained in surgery doing your procedure, but at the same time you have trained lab technicians in-house. We have general anesthesiologists who help you with your anesthesia. And we're able to bring everything in-house to recreate patients' smiles. Our specialty really is zygomatic implants. This procedure allows us to really deliver teeth to patients who otherwise have been told they would never receive teeth in their life.
Thanks to New Teeth Now, I love my smile. I don't even feel really different. The proof is right here.
For our patients who have been apprehensive about coming back into dentistry, we want to tell you that we are the premier center to take care of you here. We want to make sure that we are well taken care of from the first minute you call us to the minute you come and meet us for a consultation.
I can smile, I can laugh. It's brought me back, and I'm so thankful for that.
Since 1971, the LGBTQ Center OC has been a pillar of the Orange County community, proudly empowering and advocating for the queer individuals and families who need our support. We've sustained a safe space for the community for more than 50 years and continue to grow the wealth of resources that the people of Orange County rely on. It's true that it gets better. Until it does, the LGBTQ Center OC is here, and we've got you.
The San Diego Children's Discovery Museum is a children's museum that serves San Diego County. Our area of focus is children between the ages of 0 to 10, but primarily 0 to about the ages of 7. We teach children in an informal, experience-based environment, specifically foundational fluencies, social-emotional learning, and purposeful play.
We started PNC Grow Up Great in 2004. It is now a $500 million bilingual early education program, all focused on reaching young children from birth to age 5, with a particular emphasis on reaching low and moderate income children to help prepare them for school and life.
And we've been looking for partners, and that's how we got to the San Diego Children's Museum. They specifically have a new mobile unit where they bring STEM-related educational services to kids that can't make it to the museum.
We both believe in bringing innovative platforms of learning to children all over the county.
I think I'm going to build a castle.
There's far too many people suffering on the streets, and so we're about helping people find that bright and immediate and safe and healthy pathway off the streets. Our mission is to alleviate the suffering of homelessness throughout San Diego County. We raise money to fund, activate, or lead high-impact homelessness programs, and there's close to 20 different employment and job training programs that we've funded. In 2023, addressing and reducing youth homelessness is one of our primary focus areas. And so we work with Urban Street Angels on a number of strategies and programs. We work with the Youth Assistance Coalition because they're organizations that make impact. We're never going to solve it, but we can meaningfully reduce it and help a heck of a lot of people by raising money to fund and activate a multitude of programs that are tangible and can be quantified and meant to alleviate suffering now, while simultaneously pushing on government to help accelerate their efforts.
Over 1,000 young people are without shelter in San Diego every night. The Lucky Duck Foundation is here to change that.
They're my structure. I feel like I had a safe haven, I had family, even though they're not blood, they were there for me. By getting all the support that I have today, I feel like my future is going to be better than ever. I'm currently going to school and employed.
Donate today at LuckyDuckFoundation.org to provide housing, education, employment, and hope.
Please share your luck.
We're here at Teacher Appreciation Night, in which all the district teachers of the year that are running for County Teacher of the Year next year are here with us, as well as the reigning County Teachers of the Year. And they're fortunate enough to bring us down onto the field for the first pitch.
We're celebrating all teachers in the San Diego County, and so it's an honor to represent San Diego Teacher of the Year.
My dad, I grew up with him and a huge Padre fan, and so this is one of those moments that means a lot to both me and him.
We have so many great fans in the audience as well, children, families. It's a huge honor.
Thank you, Padres!
After an accident, you could be faced with a maze of confusion. There are medical bills, lost time at work, not to mention taking on the big insurance companies alone. But with the Barnes firm on your side, they can help you get compensated for your troubles. And they'll help you get the best result possible. Call the Barnes firm now at 1-800-8-MILLION for a free consultation.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
Hey, great friends, what's happening? This is Kaplan and Crew with Grande and the Brown Man. Tuesday afternoon, we started the show today talking about the Padres and what's going on and how everybody was piling on yesterday. And I tried to tell you earlier, Alex, I'm a positive person. So even though I'm like this close to declaring the season over, I'm also the guy on the other hand that goes, but if you can put together some wins and build some energy before the All-Star break, maybe you make this great comeback here in the second half. I mean, I heard somebody say yesterday, well, I'm just counting they're not going to win the division. That thing's long gone. I mean, that's just marvelous. So you see, that's what I'm saying. Like people have jumped off this bandwagon. All right, listen, we'll get back to it here in 1 second. Before we do, did anybody
Just
see this?
Don't jump back on.
Okay. Don't jump back on. You can't jump back on. Once you jump off, you're off.
That's what Manny said.
Okay. All right. Get to Manny in 1 second. Did you guys see the story that was announced earlier today that Ryan Seacrest is taking over from Pat Sajak on the Wheel of Fortune? Did you guys see that at all?
I did. And
Who's still watching that?
Right. That's what I can't figure out. Like, I'm trying to figure this. I'm trying to figure this out. Like, I don't watch the Wheel of Fortune. I think it's on television. Maybe it's on like channel 739 in San Diego, the NBC affiliate. I think
it is.
And it comes on, is it 7 p.m.? Oh, 7:30.
It follows Jeopardy.
Okay. By the way, don't watch Jeopardy. I haven't watched it in a really long time. And I got to say, I like the girl who used to play Blossom. I like her as a person. I don't like her as a game show host.
This is exactly where I was going to go with it.
What?
When you have a legendary, and the only show to pull it off, well, two, I guess. Price is Right. They kind of got it right with Drew Carey. Dude,
it's been a long time. It's been a long time. That show a long time, yeah.
And the Family Feud got it right with Steve Harvey.
And
you notice the trend?
Right. I mean, two stand-up comedians.
Mm-hmm.
You take a stand-up comedian / radio host like Steve Harvey, who's quick on his feet and constantly thinking on his feet and can have fun with people like as if they're a live audience. I mean, I'm talking about the family. You take a comedian, you give him these game shows, to me, it has worked.
Yeah.
Check and check.
Ryan Seacrest is a radio host.
Okay.
Not funny, not entertaining.
Well, that's the other thing. I don't know how many people like Ryan Seacrest.
Enough.
Like Drew Carey was so successful with the Whose Line Is It Anyway, with the Drew Carey show and his stand-up.
Correct.
And he's a star. He was a star.
Right. And Steve Harvey was a massive comedian star on his own.
And
a comedy
national radio morning show, etc.
So and Ryan Seacrest, I just think I don't get it. He's just given like every hosting job since American Idol, and I don't get it.
Dude,
I don't understand it.
Who should be hosting Jeopardy is somebody with a dark sense of humor, because that's the way that show kind of rolls. And if you can do deadpan humor, that would be great for that show. And on Wheel of Fortune, you need somebody with some high energy, somebody who looks and moves young. Like, therefore, the show has energy.
Aren't you
like the
describing
show's
Ryan Seacrest?
entertaining.
Yeah, I think I actually don't think
Ryan Seacrest.
I don't think the show needs an energetic host. Here's the thing about this whole thing about Wheel of Fortune.
I think you had to be funny for my point is you had to be funny for these jobs. You have to have some sense of humor. You can't just be, oh, what the hell is funny about Ryan Seacrest?
Well, but the other part here, can we just think about it the other way for a second? If you're Ryan Seacrest and you've had American Idol and you are now like the executive producer of these Kardashian shows.
Well, it was Kelly and Ryan too.
And you had the Kelly and Ryan show. Here's my question. And I would ask this to Ryan.
Booted him for her husband.
Yeah, but Ryan, what is the attraction to Wheel of Fortune? Now he may say,
money.
hey, dude, it's just money. It's just money, right? He may say, dude, listen, they offered me, I'm making up a number here, $20 million a year, because what I bring to them is I'm capable of hosting the show. No problem. That's the easy part. I'm bringing my celebrity. Yeah. I'm bringing my name. I'm bringing my followers, et cetera, et cetera. So I would understand it from Ryan Seacrest's perspective if he's getting paid a lot of money. I mean, it is an American television institution, and he's kind of been the guy that has kind of become like this generation's Dick Clark. Dick Clark. He's kind of become this generation's Dick Clark. So, right, the ball dropping in New Year's Eve.
You know who would have been great?
Who's that?
That dude that does the New Year's show with Anderson Cooper.
Andy Cohen?
Yes.
Yeah.
He would be perfect.
He
for
would be
Wheel of
really
Fortune.
good for Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah.
But they wouldn't let him do it because he's gay. and then they'll be like, "Oh, see, you go woke, you go blah blah blah."
I would think the opposite. I would think the opposite, that they'd say, "Hey, listen, it's great. We've got this gay host, and he's got a lot of personality, and it shows how inclusive we are."
I just think
You
he's
would
funny.
think.
And
I think it's funny too.
And if you're able to be, if you got to be able to riff.
And he hosts a bunch of stuff too.
And you got to be able to riff on that shit.
Yeah.
You're like, if you
Right.
see an opening, you got to boom, quick.
But
that's the thing.
Like I look at the Wheel of Fortune, I go, why do you want Ryan Seacrest? Okay, he's a famous guy and he's a big star and he's got lots of followers. Okay, I get that. And then I look at Ryan Seacrest and I go, why do you want Wheel of Fortune? Who's still watching TV? Most people are watching streaming services. But I think that the two of them kind of need each other. And Seacrest is still a traditional television person, and Wheel of Fortune is still a traditional television show. I
just Googled what is Wheel of Fortune's television ratings.
Yeah, how is
I
it?
was curious.
Yeah, me too.
As of this is from June 14th, New York Times. Wheel of Fortune draws over 9 million daily viewers.
Unbelievable. I didn't know that. I mean, that's
because I was going to say why are they keeping it going, but I was okay. Now I get it.
9 million people.
Now the question is, where are those people watching?
Right.
Well, what do you mean?
They know because I think to Browner's point, if they're huge in Iowa and Texas and Mississippi, they're not going to give Andy Cohen the job. They might give it to a straight-faced white dude like Ryan Seacrest, who many particularly people find very bland, and that's what they need. Because Pat Sajak wasn't this he wasn't anything special either. He was just he just did it forever.
Right.
So
Right.
Everybody just loved Pat Sajak because he was there forever.
That's right. So I was talking to Rolf Bernerschka on LinkedIn, and I mean, I could have just texted him, but here's what happened is now here's you wonder what the relevance of all this is, don't you, Brown?
Yeah.
Okay. First of all, let me start off by asking you this, Brown. Do you know who Rolf Bernerschka is?
I've heard the name before. It's just a funny name.
Rolf.
100%. You had to work with Rolf Bernerschka's people at some point, Browner.
100%. I'll tell you. Rolf Bernerschka was the inspiration for the San Diego Chargers blood drive.
Oh yes. Okay.
Rolf Bernerschka, and I can't believe I'm telling people this, but I will for younger people who tune in, especially people who watch on YouTube. Rolf Bernerschka was a great kicker for the San Diego Chargers. He, in the middle of his NFL career, came down with Crohn's and colitis. I hope I'm getting all of this right. Crohn's disease. So it's a really tough disease for people because their stomachs and their intestines don't kind of work right. Blah blah blah. Rolf had to be hospitalized. By the way, we got some sirens going down there in North Park. Yeah.
I had the windows open today. A little fresh air in here.
Rolf had to be hospitalized because of this condition and then missed games, a lot of games. I don't remember all the details. And he eventually was brought back by the Chargers. And like the biggest defensive lineman on the field, Louis Kelcher, held his hand, walked him out to the 50-yard line. I'm getting goosebumps as an honorary captain. Well, Rolf makes this incredible comeback physically and comes back to play for the Chargers thereafter. And is part of one of the most famous games in NFL history where the Chargers were down in Miami against the Dolphins and the overtime game. So look, and Kellen Winslow being walked off the field, carried off the field after blocking the field goal. Rolf Bernerschka, Browner, this legendary Charger, replaced Pat Sajak as the host on Wheel of Fortune. I don't know if anybody else ever hosted Wheel of Fortune. Pat Sajak, Rolf Bernerschka. Rolf left. Pat tried late night TV. Pat came back to the Wheel of Fortune. Rolf left, and Pat's been back ever since, and it's probably 30 years later. I just don't remember if anybody else ever hosted the show other than Sajak, Rolf Bernerschka, the former Charger, then Sajak again.
Chuck Woolery was the original host.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Just reading now.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He went off the deep end. Anyway, look, I talked to Rolf the other day on LinkedIn, and I was thinking we should bring him on the show to discuss what it is to go into that situation, at least from his perspective. You're a former Charger kicker who becomes the host of Wheel of Fortune. How'd that happen? I just think it's an interesting backstory. So you guys tell me if you're interested. If you are, I'm going to book Rolf. If you're not, then I'm not.
How do we book Vanna White?
Good question. We'll ask Rolf.
Because I was reading reports earlier this morning when I saw the Seacrest news that she lawyered up because she's like, she saw her. I guess she hasn't got a raise in like years. and now she makes $3 million a year, and now she's like, okay, it's my time. I'm getting paid
to
now.
do what?
To get paid more.
Get paid
for what?
She's now like an old lady. And I no disrespect.
Fam,
66 is still hot.
Stop.
She
man.
what?
She turned the letters, bro.
But she has value. But I think
turning the letters?
Yes, because she's been there forever. Look,
Did Kelly Clarkson turn them letters?
Dude, all I'm saying is this. Vanna, you should have gotten paid a long time ago.
Yeah.
Too late.
If I was the Wheel of Fortune folks, like, because I don't know their market, right? That's what I was gonna say. Like, if their audience is like, we love Vanna, you better keep Vanna, then you keep Vanna. But if they're gonna just revamp the whole show,
look,
might be time to revamp the
whole
show.
What you should have done, if Vanna had value, like Mr. Lower Box is talking about, why she ain't host a damn show? If Pat stepped down, if you want to make more money, here's your opportunity. Now, if you went into the studio, you kicked in the door, boom, I'm Vanna White. Here's the deal. I'm going to host the show now. No Ryan Seacrest, no. I'm hosting the show. We're going to get a man to turn these letters because it's 2023. And guess what? Vanna White is the new host. Yeah, I know I'm 60, but I can still move. I know how this show runs. I know how this wheel turns. My time. And unless you did that, you ain't getting no more money. You keep hitting that button, them letters keep turning. Game over. You solved the puzzle.
Well, it's officially official because Seacrest dropped the announcement. So there you go.
All right. Well, hey, congratulations, Seacrest. You get everything. Ryan Seacrest is to television what Dwayne Johnson is to movies. Like there's like nothing that can be done, that you cannot do anything without this guy anymore.
Yeah.
All right, listen.
Well, just like Jeopardy, I stopped watching when Trebek bounced. I stopped watching Wheel of Fortune even before that, so whatever.
Right. I haven't watched in ages. All right, listen, before we move on, I want to get back to the Padres, and then I want to get into some NFL, and I really, really want to dig into this San Diego State story today. So stay with us for all of that. It is still on the way. Hey, quick shout out to our people from iThrive MD, because a couple weeks ago, we had some listeners that were trying to get into iThrive, and they couldn't because they had to be put on a waiting list because they didn't have any more of this weight loss medication. And we've had Dr. Maxey on since, and he's like, no, we're loaded up. And so we're ready to go. No more waiting lists. You need to get into iThrive to get your blood work done to find out if you qualify to take this medication. This medication that has had Alex lose 55 pounds. Alex, are you almost done? Are you kind of weaning off of it now?
I got to talk to him this week.
Yeah. All right. So look, this thing's been going on since October of last year, and Alex has lost 55 pounds. So if you're ready to lose weight and you committed yourself at the beginning of the year and you haven't done it yet, we're halfway through. Let's not give up on that goal. 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497 for iThrive. And you can go to our website, kaplanandcrew.com, click on iThrive. You'll learn all about the iThrive Lean program, and let's get you guys going. All right, let's get back to the Padres. So we had a big crowd here yesterday on YouTube because I think people were feeling like it's time to start pouncing. And Alex, you called for it yesterday. Give me somebody's head on a stick, Game of Thrones style. Give me that Succession scene where it's time to make a family sacrifice. Who were the Padres going to sacrifice? And it didn't happen. But if you look at what Manny Machado was saying, about hitting coaches, if nothing else, here's the one thing I'll say about Manny. A, I appreciate his honesty. B, I appreciate his taking accountability. And C, he's right. We can blame Bob Melvin. We can blame hitting coaches. You can call for the firing of the GM for the way he put the roster together. We can complain about who they gave money to and maybe what they should have done with the money. But here's the bottom line. You're a player. You got a bat in your hands. You have an all-star reputation. Bro, hit. And that's kind of what Manny Machado was talking about, Alex. If you put that up on the screen from yesterday, go ahead and give this to everybody.
The hitting coaches give us all the information we need. Ultimately, is what we do out there. We do what we can control, which is to go out there and hit the ball. You can't put so much emphasis on it's their fault. If you're going to put any fault on anyone, it's going to be us. We hold the cards, we hold the bat, we make the outs. It's not about the managers, coaches, or pitching staff. It's about the players.
That's right. And that's simple and it's obvious and it's right. That's right.
Yeah. I mean, dude, that's kind of like, I understand in sports, and I was guilty of it yesterday. Like, I wanted the sacrificial lamb. I wanted the head. But at the end of the day, when people start calling for the jobs of Bob Melvin or even me, AJ Preller, at the end of the day, Manny Machado has got to hit better than 200. At the end of the day, Xander Bogaerts cannot be hitting 170 with runners in scoring position. Like ultimately, the players have to perform to a certain level, and right now
that's cute. That's nice. That's fun. Yeah, guys, let's put it on the players. Yeah, they're not hitting. They're making the mistakes. Why are we blaming someone else, bro? That's how it goes, bro. That's how it. You gonna trade Manny because he ain't hitting? No. You gonna trade Bogaerts because he ain't living up to the expectations of the contract? Hell no. So who goes when things go bad? Who's the scapegoat? Who's the sacrificial lamb? One of the coaches.
I still want one.
One of the lower level coaches. So for Manny to come out and say this, that's upstanding of him to man up and be like, yo, here's the deal. It's on us, it's not on them. But he know damn well they ain't trading him.
No, you can't trade a 10-year contract, but you can cut a hitting coach who's got 6 months left on a deal. No problem.
Correct. Well, right. $400,000. Like, you're good. Yeah. You're good. Like that's cool to say. And that's fantasy land of, oh, it's on us. Yeah, I mean, duh, fool, it is on you. But you ain't gonna get fired. Like, if you talk about levels of firing, we're not gonna get to you until the very end.
It's like the gladiator days when the king is going like the thumbs to the side, and we're the fans right now. We're in the arena, and all we want is for him to chop for that head, right? We just want him to swipe the head. We want it right now. And tomorrow, are we gonna feel better?
We are not entertained.
Right. Tomorrow, are we gonna feel better? Probably not. We still want to see it. We want that thumb down. We want that thumb down, and we need a body. Just make me feel better a little bit.
Yeah, I actually I was going to call Mark Loretta to come on the show to talk a little bit about this, but then I remembered that we made a date with Mark Loretta.
The Monday of the All-Star break.
Okay, what is that day?
July 10th?
Okay, so it's a week after, right, the following week after the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Right. So I didn't want to bring Mark back because, Mark's now the special assistant to the CEO, and he's a former bench coach of the Cubs. And, when there's this sort of, angry mob that just wants some sacrifice, I just wanted to get his opinion on all of that. And I'm like, nah, I don't want him on the air until we do that 30-day thing that
we got to see if the decade has been written by then.
Right. Now, so here's what the Padres look. Here's what's got to happen.
When did I ever say, "Hey Siri"? Like, I don't understand why she responds to me.
Really? You said, "Hey Siri"?
No, I didn't.
You didn't say
algorithm. The algorithm's off. Whatever you be saying, she hears it as
I said, "Hey Siri," after you said, "Hey Siri," and Siri said, "I'm here."
Yeah.
And
shut up.
Well, and you want to know the funniest part? I never use Siri ever.
Ask her if the Padres should fire AJ Preller.
Hey Siri, should the Padres fire AJ Preller?
Okay.
She said I didn't get that. Could you try again? In the meantime, I never use Siri, and I just said it and it actually worked. And yet every time I tried to make it intentional, it never works. I don't get it. I don't get what just happened.
Yeah.
All right. So look, if the Padres starting tonight, this game tonight against the Pirates, is
coming up shortly.
Yeah, it's going to start here soon because it's East Coast time. Pirates, Reds, Angels, Mets. If you can just put together, if that's a total of 12 games, and there might be a 4-game series in there, so 12 or 13 games. If you could go 10-3, 9-4, or whatever the exact number of games are. How many games are there? It's 12. Okay. So if you could go 9-3, if you could go 10-2, I mean, if you could put together some wins, that'd be pretty exciting.
If you go 8-4, I believe you finish I think you go 500.
And then when you get Ohtani in town, I mean, listen, I know that there's already been a lot of electricity with big crowds and playoff atmospheres, and I know there's been a lot of disappointment, but I don't think anything's going to top what's going to happen when Ohtani comes to town. I don't think. I mean, and that includes the Red Sox coming to town. But the Ohtani thing, especially right now, Brown, I don't know how much you're following it because I know you say there's no excitement around it because you don't have anything, you don't follow it in any way, but yet you seem to know that. Dude, he's the home run leader again. Ohtani.
I told you, I watch on the Apple TV MLB recap every night.
All right, league leader Ohtani, 26 home runs, 61 RBIs, slugging percentage of .630, blah blah blah, all the stats. Ohtani is the league leader in all of the offensive stat categories. And there, Alex is putting it up on the screen. I mean, this guy. Look, we don't go up to Anaheim and check out the greatness that this guy is giving baseball fans.
First of all, there's an error on this. There's an error on that chart, bro.
What was the error on the chart?
There's an error on that chart, bro. Normally, I don't point out the errors because
what is
I live in a world where we all making mistakes.
What is it?
They in third place, bro. Don't do that. Don't get them in second place. Don't put them in second place.
Same record.
Don't put them in second. ESPN got them in third. They in third, bro. Don't put them in second place.
All right, hold on a second. Well, let's get right back to it. I got to get into this San Diego State story, and I got a bunch of NFL news. Stick around. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and YurView, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Locally owned and operated, not some bland, uninspired, corporate, cookie-cutter radio station crap. We simply say to those stations, you. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Murray Lampert now brings architectural and interior design to a whole new level for your remodel, ADU, or whole house build.
We're truly a team at Murray Lampert Design, Build, Remodel, and we don't take that lightly.
Visit murraylampert.com.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community. Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on YurView or stream it online at YurView.com. Doing More is presented by PNC Bank, proud to be a part of the San Diego community.
If you've been told that implants aren't an option for you, or you're looking at years of bone grafting treatment, I'm here to tell you there is a better alternative. At New Teeth Now, we are a one-of-a-kind surgical center that routinely places zygomatic implants. Zygomatic implants are placed in the cheekbone or the zygoma, completely bypassing the need for bone grafts. If you've been told that lengthy bone graft treatment is the only way to get implants, call us today and let's get your smile back.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to your home, our experience plus our strong relationship with the city makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
At Murray Lampert, we listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com.
If you're going to count yourself as a fan of this radio station, you'll need to continuously ask yourself one basic question. Am I listening enough? Pro tip, wives are not a good source for input on this. This is the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to your home, our experience plus our strong relationship with the city makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
At Murray Lampert, we listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com.
The San Diego Children's Discovery Museum is a children's museum that serves San Diego County. Our area of focus is children between the ages of 0 to 10, but primarily 0 to about the ages of 7. We teach children in an informal, experience-based environment, specifically foundational fluencies, social emotional learning, and purposeful play.
We started PNC Grow Up Great in 2004. It is now a $500 million bilingual early education program, all focused on reaching young children from birth to age 5, with a particular emphasis on reaching low and moderate income children to help prepare them for school and life.
And we've been looking for partners, and that's how we got to the San Diego Children's Museum. They specifically have a new mobile unit where they bring STEM-related educational services to kids that can't make it to the museum.
We both believe in bringing innovative platforms of learning to children all over the county.
I think I'm going to build the castle.
From New York City comes America's longest running and most popular rugby show. The biggest names in Major League Rugby, MLR highlights, and big match previews. Rugby Wrap-Up presents MLR Weekly, made in New York City.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.